This video is going to be about the Trike. In general, I'm not too crazy about tricycles that are not velomobiles. This is probably the only one I actually do like. And this is the Hase bike. This is a German product, very well engineered and kind of an unusual product because most of the trikes on the market are going to be something like this. This is the Australian Green Speed Aero. I believe they have several models. The Aero is the racing bike. Yeah, it's very low, it's very fast. Just in case you're curious, this is the specialty Scorcher tire specifically manufactured for this company that fits the Brompton. And I do recommend it, especially for the front. You will get some flats with it because it has no Kevlar belt in it. It's a racing tire. All racing tires are vulnerable. Just keep that in mind. But this is basically the size of your Brompton wheel, and this tire is going to fit. And it's a 1.5 rather than a 1.35, which actually makes a tremendous difference in terms of comfort and traction. But back to why I don't like trikes very much. If they are not velomobiles, because you're pushing two dead wheels with one wheel in the rear and you have so much more traction, I don't see the point. Why would somebody want to race on three wheels as opposed to two wheels when the third wheel is going to add extra weight and extra traction? The meaning of a trike would be if you wanted to haul something, if you wanted to carry weight. So I just don't see the point, and so I don't typically review them. This is a very nice trike, but still. The situation with the Hase bike is quite different. It is very unusual in the sense that you have two wheels in the rear and one wheel in the front. And both of the wheels are powered as you are turning the crank because the bicycle has a differential. This is the only trike I've ever heard of that has a system as sophisticated as a differential to ensure that you are powering both of the rear wheels, not just one of them. Obviously, powering just one of the rear wheels would destabilize the whole thing, and it would be possible to move it slowly, but it would not be a good experience. And now let's look at the specific features. First of all, they have this available seat cover. That's a comfort cover that looks almost like a sports car seat, so I definitely like it. The suspension is tremendous. Some of them are high grip, some others are low grip. If it is a high grip, it's adjustable and collapsible as well. You get disc brakes front and rear. Some of the models only have them in the rear, but that means 2 out of 3 of the wheels have a decent brake. Now this is the differential system, which you typically see on cars. You don't see them on a tricycle. And typically most trikes, just to avoid this whole problem of how to power two wheels at the same time with some corner vectoring, because when you go around the corner, then this wheel is going to turn much faster than this one. So how are you going to power them? This differential also means that if you power the bike electrically, not at the wheel but at the crank, then you are forcing electric power onto both wheels with the differential. And that's just a wonderful feature to have. So instead of having two wheels in the front and using one powered wheel to push the whole item, you are powering two wheels, and those two wheels are pushing only one in the front. If I owned one of these trikes, I would probably put a hub motor in the front just because of adding the extra power of all-wheel drive for exceptional acceleration, and also to have a little bit of a brake on downhills, a little bit of brake regeneration, and to not have to use the disc brakes so much. But that's just my preference. The company does sell electric setups. In fact, there are several electric configurations available. There is an amazing storage option, which you definitely cannot do with the traditional trike with the two wheels in the front. With the traditional trike design, you have the two wheels in the front and there is this piece with the crank sticking out. There's no way to store it the way you can store a Hase. This is great for people living in apartments, but even if you have a garage, Putting this thing next to a car is just so much easier. There are various luggage configurations. You can get a bag in the rear. There are also a variety of different bags for different models, really. Some of them small, some of them big. This is another close-up of how the rear is being powered. It's quite a complex system. You don't see it anywhere on bikes. Some of their configurations have hub gears, but for the most part they use cassettes. And here is a close-up of the electric mid-drive. It's very neatly done. Unfortunately, I assume it's going to be speed limited to 20 miles an hour. For this reason, I would probably prefer to add my own. But even without that, because you're only powering the crank, you don't get a motor brake on it, so it should be easy to pedal faster if you're, say, on a downhill and the motor cuts out at 20. In general, I don't like the idea of speed limits on electric bikes. In general, I think it's dangerous, and it's also frustrating that motor cuts out when you hit 20 miles an hour or 15 in the case of the Brompton. But if you don't want to build your own, then this is an option they do have. Here is the foldable option. This is not for every one of them, but you can certainly get it down to a very small size. And here is what it looks like. You can't really roll it because of these mud guards. I wonder if you remove the mud guards, if you could just lift them up at the front wheel and roll it. Maybe you could do that. And here is the very important element, a poncho, which I actually did not find on the English language website. Last time I checked their website, it cost $500. This would be a really, really excellent addition that sort of converts the Trike into a kind of a semi-velomobile. This delta shape would cut into the air probably as well as any of the velomobiles, although this is fabric, and the fabric does tend to capture some of the air pressure because of the rough porous surface of the fabric. And this is also two pieces. There is a poncho internally that you have to zip up, and there is a cover that goes over the top. Now the cheapest of these trikes start at around $3,000. They go up as far as $9,000 depending upon the accessories, and for the most part the electric systems, which are the most expensive to get. Is it worth getting it? I think that the most important market that this company has for the trikes, besides people who have some sort of a physical disability, people who have trouble mounting or balancing two-wheel bicycles. Another group that is suitable for this vehicle are people who want to do long-term touring. They don't want a velomobile. They want something a little bit more versatile, a bit more compact, but still protected. Something that can haul a lot. These things can haul 300 pounds. If you're a single person riding them, you should have no problem packing for a whole week or 2 weeks. And so that's the other market. And you would get it cheaper than the typical velomobile. There is such thing as a $7,000 or $8,000 velomobile, but you could get one of these for as little as $3,000, $4,000. This is all about the Hase. As I said, I'm not a trike guy unless it is a velomobile, but this is an exceptional machine, exceptional design and engineering just overall, and I think a solid value as well. Make sure to check out the links below because I always provide links for all the products featured in my video. Check out my book and make sure to subscribe, and
I'll be back.